Hi, my name is Cameron, and these are the things I think about our night sky. Building Tacks was a measure of my curiosity. How could I explore the world and satisfy my academic itch while creating something worth spreading? Where in this space does a voice exist to discover and evaluate relationships with the natural world, and at the same time, fit a healthy dosage of info worthy of a research journal? Well, for what it's worth, I'm figuring that out every day. This practice, of course, is intended to be my career. Tax Media is a legitimate company, and by that same token, does it come with a responsibility to myself to provide. Luckily enough, the medium that is Substack allows for easy management of a subscription based service. Perfect, I said to myself. And so, with the intent in mind that I would turn on the subscriber only button in a month or so, I came to this particular brass tacks chapter with the intent of it being the first locked item. Yet, as I wrote, cruising through the draft over the course of a single morning, I realized this is not the first time or the time for personal ambition. Nay, as I poured my fingers into our night sky, I realized the gravity of what I was producing. It wasn't just a deep dive, it was an asset. It wasn't just a commentary, it was a call to action. Our night sky became, I believe, a resource by which to spread a message advocating for the stars themselves. Perhaps that's thinking a bit too far ahead, but damn, I fucking love space. The grandeur, the awe, the grand infinity, it's enthralling. To be fair, it is probably a result of me having the opportunity to grow up in a space where I had access to a brilliant sky, off in the wayward mountains of the Green Mountains. I remember nights by the fire, gazing up into the pristine canopy above my head, dotted by 1,000 lights. And that peace, that existential wonder, I figured all were privy to such things. Alas, even in Vermont, the distant glow of even the smallest cities echo up into the sky. As I continued to grow and travel, I began to see the dark contrast between the night of my childhood and the night overhead in more urban spaces. Let me tell you, dear reader, the contrast is stark. It didn't surprise me to read about the story in Los Angeles, where a blackout sent people calling 911 for the silvery cloud, that is the Milky Way, in the night sky. Some folks just don't have that perspective, and that's such a sad reality. For our species grew up in the dark, and we've used it to make good on the promise of our purpose. Our ancestors, even those from a couple of hundred years ago, could look up and understand that they were but a small part in something so incredibly vast. Perhaps we lost our humility when we lost our grand tapestry. Our night sky, then, was designed to be a reminder. That which we have already available to us and have already lost. Light pollution runs rampant across the world. For pristine spaces that we have left, we must seek to preserve them. At the very least, we ought to consider how we can take steps to maintain skies for future generations. Street lamp shading might sound trivial, but it can do so much for how we see ourselves. And as for what we actively put up into the skies, that is a significant issue, as a cascade of crashed satellites could lock us into a debris field. Again, this shouldn't need to really be said, but space is monstrously vast. Yet a cacophony of untracked refuse moving at many kilometers per second could literally demolish any and all chances of sending craft into space. I, for one, don't want to see our species grounded. Just as well, I hope I'm not the only one who thinks that space advertisements are fucking disgusting. The bit about Avant Space making me feel actively ill as I wrote it. With each week, it feels as if we are in a society moving ever closer to some sort of cyberpunk 2077 dystopia. It's not the first time that I've pointed to that world in this series. I fear it won't be the last. So, at least for this one issue, maybe our night sky can be an ameliorative piece. that doesn't need to be gatekept. It needs to be traveled, shared, liked, and spread. It's a message of advocacy inviting curiosity. If I can get one person to ask themselves, I wonder what the night sky looks like beyond my urban center, then that's a win. And much like a rogue satellite obliteration, maybe it can cascade into greater impact than I hoped for. Which is, at the end of the day, a lot of what Tacks is trying to do. The purpose of our sustainable future starts with us. If this can be a place by which we hold space for the relationships we need to consider, then I have a duty to put forth the best content I can to facilitate that. And when it's all said and done, hopefully I can sit by the fire once more and know that this work has helped the world look up to the skies that have, and always will, belong to us. My name is Cameron. Of course, this has been the things I think about our night sky. For more Tacks Media, you can find us at Tacks Media, Tacks Media, on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky. We're also on Blue Sky. Just as well, check out Tacks. That comes out every Friday. I'm looking forward to posting what's going on this week. Give a like, give a share, give a subscribe, and we will see you next time.